Hi, it's Elise here at Bowman Library with a whole new middle grade book spotlight. So our theme for this week is colorful covers. So we are only taking a look at books. They're all over the place. There's no rhyme or reason to them except that the covers are super colorful and super gorgeous, because when it's walking by and you see a nice colorful cover, you're gonna stop and look at it. Let's be realistic. And so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take a look at 6 books that have some gorgeous, colorful covers. And again, they're all a little bit different, so you might even find yourself trying something you may not normally pick up. So let's get started. Our first one is I Can Make This Promise. So growing up, 12-year-old Edie has always known that her dad was white and that her mother is of Native American descent. But when she was younger, she was adopted by a white family. But other than that, her mother has said that she really doesn't know anything else about her heritage. And Edie's always kind of just taken it at face value, because why else would you lie about that or something? So one day, Edie's up in the attic and she's searching for stuff, and she stumbles across these pictures. And these pictures are of an older woman, but they look so much like she does. And she does a little bit digging and she finds out this person's name is Edith Granger. And Edie decides that she wants to find out and figure out who this person is and why she has pictures in the attic of her. And she soon finds out and soon takes her down a path that she never expected, including uncovering family secrets and lies that she couldn't even begin to imagine. This realistic book is also part mystery. It's one that's all about figuring out who you are and what you let define you and what you don't let define you, and the role that your family can play in who you are and who you are not. This is I Can Make This Promise. Tristan Strong punches a hole in the sky. So this is the first in a series. Book 3 is just getting ready to come out, and you are going to want to read all of them because this one is amazing. So it's been a couple of hard months for Tristan. His best friend Eddie was killed in a bus accident, and now he's being sent down to his grandparents' farm in Alabama to spend the summer. And all he has left from his best friend is his journal, which he would fill with stories that he writes. So on the first night of staying at his grandparents' farm, he wakes up and there's this weird looking talking doll that has almost come to life. He has no idea where it's come from. Later on, we know that this doll is known as Gum Baby, and this doll is trying to steal this journal. And not only is he trying to steal this journal, but this journal is now glowing green out of nowhere. No idea where this is coming from. So as Tristan tries to stop Gum Baby from stealing this journal, because it's one of the most important things he has, Tristan is led to this tree. And it's at this tree where he ends up punching a hole through it because Gum Baby's going into the tree and he's not going to let Gum Baby get in there. And then he finds himself somehow, because of this hole he made in this tree, stuck between our world and this kingdom called Alki. And it's this kingdom where African American folklore characters are the gods and leaders. And that's all I'm going to say, because if I say anything more, I'm just going to start ruining stuff, and I don't want to ruin stuff. So this is an adventure and a quest that just takes off. As soon as you start reading this book, you get sucked in, and it is non-stop. So again, first in a series. Make sure you check out book 2, maybe when you check this one out, because you're going to fly through this one super fast. This is Tristan Strong punches a hole in the sky. Fish in a Tree. So Allie's in 6th grade, loves math, is incredible in art, but she has this secret that she doesn't want anyone to know. And that it's almost impossible for her to read. And she's not dumb and she's not stupid, even though that's what some of the people in her class call her. It's just, she just can't figure it out. And because she doesn't want anyone to know more than what they already do, she becomes a bit of a troublemaker in order to distract from people finding this out about her. But all of that changes when her teacher goes on maternity leave, and this new teacher, whose name is Mr. Daniels, shows up. And he starts to kind of see through Allie's act. And he soon starts to figure out that there's nothing necessarily wrong with Allie. She's just dyslexic. She just sees the world differently from others. So as Allie starts to learn more more about herself. She also finds herself struggling with her dad's deployment with the army to the Middle East, and then she's being picked on by some mean girls at school, and then she actually gets to start making friends for the first time, and this incredibly awesome, realistic look at what it's like to be a sixth grader is one that everyone can relate to, no matter your situation. We've all had things that are trying in our lives. Allie is a great character to recognize herself in. This is Fish in a Tree. Pashmina. So Priyanka's growing up in the United States, and she knows that her mother came from India years before, even leaving her father behind. But Priyanka doesn't know any more than that, and her mother refuses to talk about anything with it. Doesn't answer questions, gets super angry. So when Pri finds a Pashmina, which is a very colorful scarf, in one of her mother's ancient suitcases, she puts it on, and then she all of a sudden magically finds herself transported to an India that she has only imagined. And it's filled with animals and food, and there's colors everywhere, and she falls in love with it. But then when a family crisis happens and she actually gets the opportunity to go visit the real India in person, she realizes that the one that she's pictured in her mind is completely different than the one that she actually meets in reality. But this trip also gives her this opportunity to finally meet her family, and more importantly, to learn stuff about her mother that she never even could have imagined or knew. This amazing graphic novel will take you right along a journey with Pri as she starts to learn and figure out where she comes from and what her heritage is and what she can do for her mom. This is Pashmina. The key to extraordinary. So 12-year-old Emma is growing up with her grandmother, who's known as Granny Blue, after her mother recently died, and she spends her time helping her Granny Blue at the Boneyard Cafe, which is the restaurant she owns. So when Emma finds out that Granny Blue is thinking about selling it though, Emma decides she needs to do something about it in order to make it stop. And it's then that she has a dream, and it's in this dream that she finds out that she has to go on a quest. And as she gets to the end of this quest, hopefully that's going to be what saves the cafe. But this quest then means that she needs to go searching through graveyards looking for a treasure that is guarded by a ghost who's known as the Conductor. This humor-filled adventure is one that will have you wishing you were really able to go on a quest adventure alongside Emma, and you'll be cheering for her the whole time. This is the key to extraordinary. And our last one is Slider. So David gets into a little bit of a pickle. He's really into like watching competitive eating. You know, that's his sport. You know, he watches all of it. And when he sees a half-eaten hot dog by his most favorite competitor ever is up for bid, instead of bidding $20, he accidentally bids $2,000, and he wins. And before he knows it, his mother has been charged $2,000 for a half-eaten hot dog. And that does not go over really well with his mom. So, in an effort to kind of make up, pay off his debts, he decides he's gonna put his money where his mouth is, and he's finally gonna enter a competitive eating contest. And the contest he decides to enter is he needs to eat a whole large pizza by himself in less than 5 minutes. And if he does that, he wins $5,000. But it's gonna be easier said than done. So he decides what he needs to do is he needs to train all summer to get himself in competitive eating shape, all while trying to keep an eye on his autistic brother. And then his two best friends, he starts to think they're starting to have feelings for each other and kind of leaving him behind in the dust. So this humor-filled look at friendship, family, and trying to do something that you've never done before will warm up and fill your heart, and you'll be cheering for David and maybe considering for a minute about competitive eating as well, but probably not going to go further than that. This is Slider. So these are just 6 of the books that we have here at the library that have some amazing, colorful covers. So I encourage you to come on out, check out one of these, or we can help you find a book that has a colorful, gorgeous cover, if that's what you're in the mood for. I hope you have a great week, and I hope you tune back next week when we have a whole new middle grade book spotlight.